Welcome to the Fuck Fentanyl podcast. I'm Luis Romero, and I'm the Fuck Fentanyl guy. I got my really awesome friends right here, the co-owners of Baja Rehab, Jessica Schrader and Adam Lincoln. How you guys doing?
What's up? What's up, man? Good to
Hell
be here.
yeah! I really love what you guys do. I love Baja Rehab. You guys I've never been to an establishment and felt like so welcomed to speak. You know what I mean?
Even a lockdown one?
Yeah, even a lockdown one. That's really rad. It's so rad.
We're always happy to have you out.
Hell
How many times have you been out? 3? 2?
Two
for sure.
two for sure.
For sure.
And I also actually had one of your guys' employees, Shalom, on my podcast.
That's right.
Oh yeah, I was there for that one.
Over there to
Yes,
support.
yes. Fucking awesome ass dude.
Yeah, he is.
Hopefully we'll get him on here. Hopefully. So anyways, I guess I'll just kind of wanted to get a little of your guys' backstories, if you guys don't mind. Where are you guys from?
So I'm from San Diego, from Ocean Beach, born and raised, Point Loma girl.
Point Loma.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm San Diego as well.
This guy's east.
San Diego. Well,
What?
say like
What?
say like I'm east, like I'm garbage or something.
East. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We don't even
Yeah,
consider that.
I'm from San Carlos.
San Carlos? Oh,
Went to
okay.
Patrick Henry High School
Oh, nice.
that way.
All right. So when did you guys felt like you had a problem with alcohol or addiction? Was it like kind of just like you started experimenting and it just escalated, or was
Jessica's still trying to figure that out.
or still trying to figure that out?
No, I'm not. I'm convinced, okay?
Yeah.
No, so me, well, at the time I guess I didn't think it was a problem, but really
Sure.
looking back,
Yeah.
it was early high school. I started having panic attacks, like embarrassing ones, like ones like where like, oh my God, I'm in a situation, everybody's looking at me, and it would get me to the point that I would feel sick, like I'd feel like physically ill.
Right.
And I would be all scared, like, oh my God, what if I get sick in front of all these people? Then they're going to make fun of me. So it's almost like this complex that was happening when I was younger. And I didn't find the solution for that until I found alcohol.
I see.
Until I found alcohol. That took that away. It took away the pressure of being at parties around people that I felt uncomfortable around. So that's when I found the solution for my problem, for my thinking problem. But it didn't become a problem. Like it got progressive probably around, I'd say 23, 24.
Oh, okay.
So 23, 24, that's when my drinking was happening, like I was drinking more, right? My tolerance was getting higher. I was drinking in the morning to make the hangover go away. I
Right.
was drinking for days at a time. That 24 is when I experienced my first time in the hospital, like
Really, just purchased
having some
alcohol?
withdrawal and like really like, oh, I'm gonna die. That's when I started feeling the struggle of like, I need this and I don't really want this at the same time.
Right.
That's when it started getting hard for me.
Oh my God.
How about you?
How about you, Adam?
Oh, it was hard right off the top. I mean, for me, I started when I was about 17 and got
Oh,
into
really?
crystal by about 18.
Oh, okay. So
And then-
blown.
Yeah, full blown. And I rode that wave until I was about 27. So 18 to 27, just in and out of. Well, first my parents started, intervening and saying, "Hey, get this guy out of the house, and you got to go to rehab." And
Yeah.
so I'd go to Rancho La Brea, or this little rehab that was out in Del Sur. I don't know if it's even around anymore.
Oh, I think so. I think I know which one you're talking about.
It's
like
way.
faith base.
It's not a faith. It's a 30-day. I think it was like 5,000 a month back in the day.
Oh, okay.
Back in the day.
Yeah. Right.
But I think they're closed down now. But I went out there several times. My parents trying to help me, and or telling me to go meet with some psychologist or something that I may or may not show up to go do, depending on the level of highness I was at the time or whatever I was doing. Because I'm so busy when I'm on drugs. There's so much stuff to do all of a sudden, and none of it's good for me. And but I was just in and out of, and then started getting in a little bit of trouble. And then I'd go to jail, and then I'd get sent to Salvation Army, or sent to Crash, or sent to
good.
Impact House in Pasadena. So I just started making my way through all of these different places pretty much all the time, and then ended up getting starting to want some change. I think I started really wanting some change around the age of 27. Started opening up to sobriety.
I see.
Not that I attained it right away or anything like that, but started thinking about, man, this sure is tough, living like
right,
this.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's already you're pretty much a seasoned veteran at that point, even at just 27 being a
Yeah, yeah, just hanging out with like-minded people, doing like-minded stuff all the time.
right.
And my families they're good people. They don't do drugs. They don't, thank God I grew up, had good parents and stuff, but it's just the road I ended up taking, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, Jessica.
Just to like catch up on like where he's at with his story. I mean, because I also had really good parents. I mean, it really had nothing to do with them. They were divorced and everything, but
Yeah.
I was a spoiled only child for a long time. Now I got a brother and sister, but I was kind of a thrill seeker. Like I
Really?
needed to get in trouble to like have fun. Like that was definitely in me.
I
Like
see. I see.
I liked sneaking around. I liked like all that shit fed me. Made alcohol and drugs like feed me that same way. Gave me a different feeling. It gave me a rush. I started seeing my first like treatment stuff
Yeah, I was about to ask that.
like that was 2015. There was some like go to the hospital like a couple times like oh my god the withdrawals and like I also that kind of shit a couple times. But I believe 2015, so God, I must have been like 29, 30. How old was I? Probably somewhere in that. Sorry, I can't do the math right now, but it was like in there where I went to Ramona for a detox. The family did like an intervention on me. I was really drunk and in a situation. They came and were like, let me take you to detox. So I did that for a couple weeks, and that catapulted me into this. I had a boyfriend, a longtime boyfriend at the time. While I was in the detox, my mom had moved my stuff out of the house with that guy. Again, I think my parents were trying to justify everybody else being my problem. You know what I mean? Because he was just as bad as me. But at that point, I moved into a sober living. So that kind of introduced me to AA for the first time.
Oh, I see.
Didn't really buy into it. I really didn't. It was really funny, me sitting in me. I didn't know any of the lingo. I didn't know anything. And I really just went because everybody in the house was required to, and I was just such in a fresh mind state. I had no idea what recovery was about. I had no idea what 12 steps were about. I was about going to the meetings that had the cutest boys and
Oh, nice.
and hanging out with the girls in the house, and I still had this this like feeling. I was talking to you earlier about it that like, well, I could turn this shit off when I want. You know what I mean? Like I can work for a long time and be sober for I had been sober for about a year recently
Okay.
because I kind of codependently did it with my boyfriend. Like we're kind of like, oh, our life's getting bad. We're going to lose each other if we keep drinking. So we kind of like tried to distract each
Get
other.
sober together.
Yeah, so that especially told me that I didn't need a program to be sober. So I was just really like not in any kind of mind state for like real recovery.
I see.
After that, more trailed, like my next time was the big one, going to treatment in Vegas. That was like 4 or 5 months at a real inpatient treatment center. That was when I really got my heavy dose of
Okay.
what AA is all about and to really, really looking at myself. From there, there's been some treatment centers to follow. There's been a lot of fucking hospitals in between. Yeah, all those things treatment center after treatment center. I think probably like at least four or five. Maybe not. I'm not the winner, okay? I don't have like 25 like some people.
Did you get it the first time?
Adam might win me
Or the
for
second time?
sure, maybe.
I think I'll beat you. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I think you beat me. I might be the winner of DUIs. I've had 3 of those.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I've had some consequences there, and I've been in like DUI programs and stuff like that. But okay. So going through that process was when I was really like, all right, I'm beating my head against the wall. I was starting to learn a little more and realize like, okay, I really need this shit to like survive. Like I might die.
Yeah,
That's when it was getting
Right.
like that. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And Adam, so you said that you got pretty much you got more serious when you were 27. When did you finally decided to just give it all up and start recovery?
So I went through the Salvation Army. When I was in the Salvation Army, I watched a commercial for underwater welding,
Oh yeah.
and I told my dad, like, because he said I could go to college. He had let me go to college, but I never went to college. Obviously, I was getting a little bit older for that. But he said I could go there to that underwater construction school. So I did that. So I did that when I got out of the Salvation Army, and I worked in the treatment center Rancho La Brea for about 2 years,
Okay.
while I was going to school, learning that trade. And I stayed sober for that time. And then I got my first job. My son was born right around then. And I got my first job. He's 19 now, just to kind of
Wow,
put a
okay.
perspective in time.
Yeah.
But I got my first job right after Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans to go
Okay.
do underwater construction. So, and I had about 3 years of sobriety. And I think as soon as I landed out there, as soon as I went, we were all living in FEMA trailers. As soon as I landed, there was guys out there talking about, let's go to Bourbon Street, let's do this, let's do that. And the first day, I remember the first job site I was on, the first day they told me they were going to Bourbon Street in the evening time.
Yeah.
And asked me if I wanted to go, and I told them, no, I'm sober, right? And then by the end of that day, I had told myself, well, I probably just am making too big a deal about this thing. I have a job now, I'm away from home, I'm productive, like that whole mental twist, that now I know what that is, but then I don't think I really understood what that was. But that whole mental twist kicked in, which was, oh, it's going to be different this time, and here's how. So I'm only going to drink. And so I ended up going to Bourbon Street that night. I did. I had a great time.
Yeah.
And like I had a great time for about a year, meaning I stayed away from drugs.
Okay.
And I was able to maintain my drinking without getting in any kind of trouble.
Right.
I mean, I still had tough days, where I stayed out too late.
Right.
And, was sick all day at work and this and that. But for the most part, I was fine. And then that time, and so, I mean, at that point, I put away my 3 year sober date.
I see.
I got rid of that, and then tried the drinking thing, and that went on for a good solid year. And then the time and day came again when I picked up some dope again. And it was a tough, like, I think about 3 years after that, it was kind of on and off with that. Like, I'd go out of town, and I think work really saved me, right? Because they would fly me to a job, and I'd get out there and I'd be isolated from all the people I know here.
I see.
And I'd have to like perform, and I had some stuff to do. But as soon as I'd get back to San Diego, like I'd start getting loaded again.
I see.
And it wasn't just tough on me. It was really tough on everybody, because it's like one of those things where like I build up a bright outlook for myself and for other people, and then I just, pull it all down. And like everyone, gets to witness and ride that roller coaster with me. And by that time, my son was about 3. So there was a lot of my mom watching him and stuff like that I wasn't able to show up as a dad. And it was just, it was getting pretty rough, and ended up in this, I don't know if you've heard of it. I don't even know if it's still around, this little sober living. I ended up getting this little job in San Diego for like a month, cleaning one of these big barges out here, and made a few $1,000s. And then my buddy was living in this place called Cass Street Sober Living. It's on.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Have you heard of it?
Yes, I have.
It's this little tiny.
Yeah.
It was horrible. I mean, it was a little tiny spot. I mean, it literally had one twin bed and a couch. And my roommate had the bed, so I got the couch. But I'd bring my little 3-year-old son over there, and he called it the fluffy cloud, and he'd take a little nap, and we walk around, and then after that I ended up getting sober, and putting together some more serious time.
I see.
Just getting. And I got involved in AA. I got involved in AA and went through the steps, and I was pretty, I'm pretty serious about my sobriety, and I reaped the rewards of being sober, right? Like the solid rewards that they talk about, respect and family and friends, and, stability and relationships, and all of those good things that that come with a, you know, a sound mind and kind of just doing the right thing and showing up, and helping others, you know, helping others. I mean, I'm just sponsored a ton of people, you know, just, you know, spending my time and going through the book, and I'm still friends with some of them. Some of them I don't know where they are, but really kind of try to do that as best I could for as long as I could, and then ended up having a surgery right around COVID, or a little bit. No, it was before COVID, probably 2 years before COVID. I had a surgery, and I don't know if I'm sure you've been paying attention to my story, but I never did opiates.
Okay.
Those were never my thing ever. And I never even thought about it. But I had a small surgery, started taking opiates, and I fucking loved them. I loved them.
Uh-oh.
I loved them. I mean, everything was better right off the bat. And they were like 5 milligram Percocets. And the doctor gave me like 30 of them. And so I took them as prescribed for a while. But I mean, what happened to me with the opiates was kind of a different story. I mean, it kind of did something different for me.
Whole new beast.
It was a whole new it was like something wonderful for me. Like it was a great feeling because and I don't know if I had just been uptight and didn't know it in sobriety, or like just had a ton of pressure and didn't really notice how much pressure, but that little pill zapped that away, and like I was free. Like I felt free, and like I could do you know, I could get off of work diving, cleaning boats for 8 hours, come home, pick up my son, take him to the room, help him with his homework for another 2 hours, you know, eat dinner, you know, watch my show, and then start thinking of like opening up a diving school, you know, like, and then have I had all this energy, and I had a little, no stress, and I felt great. And I knew I relapsed on those pills when I took one of them a half an hour early. And it was the same thing. It was the same kind of justification that I had the first time I relapsed, which was that there was a justification involved, right? And what it was that it takes a half hour for this pill to kick in. And it's like knowing that that's probably not right, I shouldn't do that, but justifying it because who are they, whoever makes that rule up, right? Like do they know that I'm in pain, and am I really in pain, or am I like imagining this pain I'm in so that I can like have this pill? And there was all that going on. But by then it was already almost too late. And so, and I was involved, right? So I had a home group. I had, you know, people that, you know, I was accountable, and I had a sponsee actually. He came to my house and he saw the bottle. Yeah. It was right there where we were doing book work. Right. And he's like, dude, that's Percocet. Be careful. And I was just thinking, who's this guy, man? Like, how
You can't tell me what.
no, you're here for my help, bro.
Right.
Here.
Right.
So like the mind shift, like was already the mind shift was already so powerful with that substance. And, yeah, I couldn't get any more from that doctor.
Okay.
And so I fired the doctor and I got another doctor.
Oh,
I just got another doctor.
Wow.
And like, I just told that doctor, hey, look, you're not good at your job. You obviously don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like how like you can look at this gash that's under my tailbone and you can tell it hurts. And she's like, well, look, I'm not going to prescribe you anymore. And I said, well, then whatever, I'll find another doctor. And she's like, you're welcome to do so. And so I did. And I got another doctor, and they gave me a little bit more. And I remember my very last legal prescription I got of Percocet. I only got 2 of them, but the second one for another 30 pills or something, I got it from across the street at the hospital for when my daughter was being born, right? So like I literally was able to take a pill and go in there, and I watched my daughter being born and all that. That was my last legal one. And then I ended up getting another 20 of them from my brother.
I see.
Telling him I had some medical stuff going on, some dental stuff. And the ones he got me were the fentanyl pills.
Oh,
He got me the M30s.
no way.
I didn't know. I just figured, I had no clue. I didn't know what an M30 was.
Right.
I had no idea. So I just knew that they were 30. The other ones I was taking was 5. So there's about 4 of those in one pill. So I could just cut those in fourths and eat them. So I'd eat a quarter and go to his baseball game, and I just kept moving on. And just little by little, just started getting worse and worse.
My God. You know, you're getting.
And we met right around that time.
Oh, really? You too? Oh, wow.
Right around that time. Like she met me right on the beginning tailspin that I was about to go on.
No way.
And probably dragged her right through a lot of shit too.
Oh my God.
I mean, that's really how we met.
Yeah.
I just was about to ask that actually. So what
We
what
were-
got you guys?
I mean, well, so, I had my already tumultuous.
I'm not saying she was a saint by any means. I mean,
No,
Okay.
and I'll answer for that too.
Okay.
I had my past. I had a long run in a 8 to 10 year relationship with my ex, and
Uh,
it was a wicked alcoholic situation. I
Right.
mean, we both, he was like gonna do anything you really put in front of him. I was more like, that's not for the cool people, it's fucking
Right.
stay drinkers. But
right.
alcohol was my priority. That was my
Absolutely.
priority. Really, I'd do other stuff, but I always kind of thought, meth is not cool.
Yeah.
Coke's cool. Fucking opiates didn't really care about it.
Yeah.
Didn't really care about it, But alcohol,
Alcohol's king.
that was my thing, yeah. And when it really was burning my life to the ground and my boyfriend's life to the ground, and it was starting to be like, really bad. I mean, it wasn't just me ended up in the hospital; it was him ended up in the hospital, and it's like fucked up shit. Like we're grabbing a pot from the kitchen to put next to the bed so he could puke blood in it from a bleeding ulcer and shit, like we're going to the hospital for a week and so they can cauterize ulcers. And then there was a lot of that kind of stuff going on. And with the drinking and with the drugging, it comes the fighting,
Yeah.
it comes the domestic abuse and the verbal abuse between both people. I'm not putting that all on him. It was very sick. When it was sick, it was really sick. And then we try to get clean for a little bit and put our jobs and everything back together, which we could do.
Yeah.
Then we'd be back on one. And it was a lot of that before I went to my first real treatment center in Vegas. That's what catapulted me away from the relationship. I really wasn't, like, I went to the treatment center because I needed a halt. I needed a halt. I was convinced that I had serious problems.
Yeah.
But I still wasn't fully convinced that I was like a real alcoholic. I don't know how. Like, I could say it in AA meetings, but like I still really looked around at other people like I'm better
Right.
than her.
Right. You're doing better than that.
I'm better than that.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
you
I'm
bet.
better than some of these other people here.
Right.
That is something that really, really held me back throughout any journey that I had in inpatient treatment or sober living. Even in sober living, I could be the sober living manager. I could always get to the top,
Right.
but the second I was going to put a drink in me, I was going to go straight back to the bottom and be everything I thought I was better than. I mean, that's just what it was,
Right.
But there was a lot of that trickery going on in my mind. There was spurts of sobriety, but not long. Like, it wasn't like long. Like, I think you had 8 years,
Yeah.
years. Yeah, like it wasn't long. Like for me, it was like 6 months was like an accomplishment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there was going to be a fuck up in there, and then there
Yeah.
would be a few months, and then it was a lot of that.
Yeah.
And through a lot of that, there was a lot of getting a new sponsor, a sponsor feeling like I wasn't putting in the right work, and well, getting rid of them or them getting rid of me, or
Which is crazy because you could write an essay.
I can, and I want to. And that's the problem.
Right.
When it means writing an essay about me looking at myself, that's a hard essay to write.
Oh, I see.
And again, actually, I think that was one of my biggest problems when getting sponsors is I looked at it as a college assignment, and I could write it eloquently, but I wasn't feeling it, and I wasn't really getting really honest. I was kind of trying to get the A for the sponsor, like, so that they thought, which is really fucking ass backwards, because they're like there to help me, but like I was like wanted them to look at me like,
You want to look good.
yeah,
Yeah, I wanna
like
look
that's an
good.
ego fucking problem.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? And that was one of my biggest problems, right? Still, I got to check that,
Right.
but yeah, Vegas got fucked up for me. I had some recovery time and then some relapse stuff, and then ran a sober living for a while, and then got with the the guy that I went to rehab with, and right, that's just stupid. I'll never rehab anybody.
Everyone does that at least once.
Yeah. And he relapsed, and he's out on the street. Then I'm like, oh, I can't handle this. I'm gonna relapse too. And then we got different drug of choice, and it's all fucking mixed up, and people coming in and out of my fucking house. I was never sober long enough to see the promises. I was never sober long enough to reap a reward. It was just kind of like I was sober long enough to see that I could accomplish a thing, you know? And then it was right back to shit, you know? Then it was right back to shit. And like, while trying to like go and find that boyfriend all over the streets of Vegas and getting caught up in like, okay, now I'm not an Ocean Beach girl anymore. I'm some fucking Vegas chick trying to be a thug and live in the game, you know, out in Vegas, you know? That's a different story. Don't fuck around in Vegas. I got into some bad situations and ended up with around some people that were killers and drug runners and gun runners and people that didn't give a fuck about me except for anything I had that they could take, you know. And I ran into a really bad situation one night. Got my car hijacked. Got kidnapped by somebody. You know, at some trap house. I was just out fucking around, you know.
Yeah.
Not for fun, you know. I was just kind of like living. I was just in that life. That was the first time I really felt like I was just submerged in that life. Like I gave up on AA. I gave up on AA. I gave up on my recovery. I was so sad about the boyfriend.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck it. I'm just gonna be an alcoholic. I'm just gonna live like this.
Purely alcohol.
Yeah, I went backward. Like
alcohol.
I went back. I went. Oh, there's pills in there too. Not opiates, but benzos.
Oh yeah.
The benzos went hand in hand. It always has with the alcohol. Always has with the alcohol because I don't like the withdrawal.
Yeah.
So the benzos help the withdrawal.
Yeah.
And they calm you down. But the problem is then you feel better. And then you're like, well, I might as well drink again. I feel, you know, well, I was going to drink again either way. That's the reality.
The endless cycle.
But I'm not rendered white as snow when it comes to drugs. It was just, I liked benzos and alcohol. That was my priority.
I see.
Anyways, so got in a really bad car accident when the kidnapping situation happened. It's some guy I didn't know driving my car. There's a lot to the story, but I mean,
Tell it for sure.
Well, I'm really high on cocaine and alcohol.
Yeah.
I ended up in this the trap house because that's what it was.
Yeah.
I didn't really know I was going to a trap house, but I had a friend, a chick with me that wanted to sell some drugs or something. So we went in there.
Sure.
And they cornered us in there and stripped us, checked us for wires. Everybody's tweaking. Everybody's like, you know, just fucking weird people coming in and out of there. They took our phones, and it kind of got to that point where it's like, okay, you kind of got to play the game of this situation if you're going to get out of it, or else you're going to get really taken advantage of. So like the goal as I think a girl who's trying to be pretty and in that situation is you use your looks to play on these guys to maybe they'll take care of you, right? So that was my mindset, you know. So friended one of the guys in the room. He felt like he was going to be my tweaker savior
for sure.
in that moment. And I had a license plate on my car. It said Jaybirds.
Jaybird.
This guy's name happened to be Bird. So I was like, I got to show you my license plate.
Yeah.
Let's go outside and I'll show you my license plate. Really, I was like, let me get my fucking car, you know?
Yeah.
We get out there and all my fucking car windows are busted. Somebody had broken in and taken my purse and all my shit. And he looked over at my friend who came with me and he's like, this bitch did it. And he pushed her on the ground and smacked her. And he's like, get in the fucking car, you know? And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I'll get in my car.
Yeah.
Like, he's getting in the driver's seat and he just starts driving all chaotic all around. Like, I'm like, my house is that way. He's going this way. I'm trying to be cool with him so that he doesn't do anything too crazy. I'm trying to be good with him so I can convince him just to let's go to my house. We can party there, whatever, you know? But those situations are so unpredictable and like really like, he started driving us towards California. He just drove and drove and drove. And I'm kind of in this situation where I don't know how to get out of. I don't have my phone. I don't have a purse. I don't have my shit. And so what happened was the person that tried to break into my car and steal the car, they tried to take the rims off the car.
The rims, okay.
And they they had a lock on them, so they couldn't get them. But I guess they didn't bolt them back on right. So the fucking wheel came loose when he was on the highway, right when we were like at the truck stop between the line of like the truck stop line of Vegas and Cali,
Okay.
basically.
Got it.
And that fucking thing flew off and the car fucking went. All I remember, okay, mind you, I am drunk and coked out, is the car going like all the way this way, hitting the middle divide, and then going that way, and all I saw was cop cars. And the car just flew right through the cop vehicles. Like, I think it was, two, well, that's what the report said. It was two police SUVs.
Crashed into two
Yeah.
police SUVs.
Wow.
Yeah, everything's total, just everything. But
Really?
my head, it like, I hit the dashboard
Yeah.
and it scalped me. Like my fucking, like
Really?
all of this just chiseled back. Like,
Oh my God.
thank God I have my eye. And you really wouldn't tell they did a good job like sewing it up.
I
Had a bone hanging out of my arm, my fucking leg, ankle, all that was broken.
Wow.
Not that I was thinking about any of that at the time. I
Right,
was
right,
just
right.
getting ambulanced away.
Yeah.
And so the rehabilitation process with all of that was enough that you would think it would show me a lesson.
Sure.
And it did not show me a lesson. And that is the disease of addiction at its finest. You know what
Right.
I mean? And
Right.
I was in a fucking wheelchair. I was all fucked up for months. I mean, my parents came out, got all my shit. We went back to California. I didn't even know where to fucking start at that point.
Yeah.
I hadn't gone back to my fiance of
Right.
8 years. He was still out there struggling. I didn't want to go back because I still had this piece of like the recovery I remember that I still kind of wanted. I couldn't fucking stay sober. I didn't know where to go. I would go to like AA meetings, but like I didn't know how to meet anybody except for men. Right?
Yeah.
I was just insecure. I was alone. I had no fucking friends anymore. I had no friends that I knew in recovery. It's like that's the part where like you have to like get out of yourself and take some action and shit.
Right.
And it was not coming to me, you know? And that's when I met Adam Lincoln.
Ah.
Like around that time is when I met Adam. I was very vulnerable in like who I didn't really know who to hang out with.
Right.
Again, I think I felt like obviously when you're a woman, like guys can be drawn to you. It seems easier, you
Right.
know, than like trying to be sober and making girlfriends. And yeah, I mean, I met him, I think at a time we were both sober in that moment. Okay. I say
Okay,
moment,
that
right?
one day.
In that moment, like I think we ended up at a few meetings together, met through a friend, whatever.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like, you know, he had hit like a relapse point that he had shared with me. And then he was in a hotel room and hit me up like, I was sober doing something with an Airbnb at the time. It's sober that day, okay? Mind you.
That day. 7 that day.
He's like, I'm fucking, I feel bad about my life. You
Yeah.
know, I'm fucking drinking. Got a bottle of brandy and I'm fucking, you know, he wasn't like, yeah, I'm tweaking. He was just like, I got a bottle of brandy. And like the second he said that, I thought really hard while I was driving. I was like, it's kind of cute. Like,
Yeah.
maybe if I go to that hotel, I can like stay sober and just hang out with him while he's drinking.
Sure.
But like, it'd be really fun to drink with him and see what happens.
okay.
Too. You know, there was like all that going on, and I contemplated for a few hours. He's like, just come on, go in the jacuzzi, blah, blah, blah. I was like, fuck it. But it's like, you know, the whole thought process of like the good part of the plan of like maybe hanging out with somebody like sober did not happen. Like I went straight to the liquor store, got the
Okay.
biggest bottle of liquor,
Okay.
brought that shit, came cocked and loaded.
Yeah.
And like, yeah. And then I woke up the next morning and he disappeared.
Where did Adam go?
He was tweaking, you know, he was just like on his ride. I'm just gonna sell you out. But you know, like he was on his ride. I was on my ride, you know, ended up like going hard all week back and forth in this like circus of he's on his ride, I'm on my ride, but we're kind of having fun, but I don't know.
Right.
And that kind of like sparked the relationship, the really kind of chaotic relationship.
see.
Both of us, both in our own addiction, you know,
Yeah.
but like kind of like bringing it into each other's world.
And I was just in hotels at that point.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was, I had a house
Yeah.
that I lived with my wife, right? But we were going through a divorce, and then I had there was a restraining order against me in that whole situation. So like, and that was really tough to deal with too. I wanted to be around, but I couldn't because I was just too, and I knew it. I mean, deep inside, I knew it that I wasn't healthy to be around, you know, either of them.
Right.
So, and that was like my thing is I just would go from hotel to hotel. And like I had a business because I had I had like some sobriety time behind me
Yeah.
and had built a life
Right.
that was now effectively keeping me alive in my disease. I mean, like I was still getting paid regularly. I was still, so like the plan was just to get an apartment tomorrow.
I see.
But it would be another hotel and another hotel
Yep.
and another hotel.
All that
And it just kept going. I mean, and it went on for a long time. And I would stay at a place for 3 days and I'd pack up. And like during this time, she was managing like 3 different Airbnbs. One of them was like a mansion. One of them was like a mansion in La Jolla.
Okay.
So like sometimes I'd go over there, right? Like if she invited me over there, sometimes there'd be people there I didn't even know. She'd just have people over. And like I'd try to help out and like help her clean the Airbnbs for the people that would come. But sometimes the people from the Airbnbs would leave a bunch of liquor too. And they would just get on the plane or go about their thing. And so now like, you know, that she'd have, 12 bottles of liquor in the back of her car and a blow device, to start the car. And sometimes, so if I wasn't drinking, I started getting good at starting her car for her, right? Like with the blow device, I'd do the blowing and then she would do the driving. And so like we got all that stuff figured out. So we kind of had a little team thing going on.
I see.
Eventually, but it was bad. It wasn't, there was some good times in there, but most of it was really delusional and like,
Right.
the reality of my life had dwindled into this other reality. It was just, it was
definitely like we found love in a hopeless place, like
Sure.
and yeah, the reality was like he still had like his business, kind of
Barely.
like I was like watching it like fall apart, but like
Right.
he had something and I like had nothing, and like I knew that he was fucked up and I was kind of fucked up, but if I went into his world, at least I could follow him in through his something,
Right.
know? Not that it was like I needed his money or anything. It was just I needed a companion in this fucked up way I was living, and
Right.
he seemed as fucked up as me. And so yeah, I would follow him to the hotels, and then he'd disappear, and then we'd show up, and it just fucking crazy shit, like fucked up shit. It was super toxic. Like really looking back at it, it's hard to remember like everything, right? Because we're
Yeah.
always on substances and stuff.
Yeah.
And how really sick it kind of was. Like,
oh yeah, this is the first time like I've had to think about it right now. I had no idea what we were talking about today. She's like, "You want to do a podcast?" I'm like, "Okay." Like, I thought we were going to be somewhere else, but
like it's kind of part of the story. I mean, it
is,
and it kind of makes me sick. That like I think that the parts I truly remember are the parts when we're trying to detox and have a few days of sleep, and like even that's kind of shitty.
Yeah.
It's not like we were at the zoo doing something healthy.
Right. Right.
It's all like recovering from this or picking up the pieces from that.
Yeah.
And those times did not last long. I mean, a few fucking days. And
I remember I was trying to put together this SBA loan because I was trying to do one thing in business and buy out this other company, and I was getting really close to doing it.
Yeah.
And I was in a sober living. I had somehow gotten into a sober living, and she was at one of her Airbnbs. And I don't know if she called me. I called her. I said, "What are you doing?" "Oh, I'm just over here kicking it right now." And "Oh, what's going on over there?" "Oh, I'm just chilling here, drinking, and this person's here, this person's here, and
Yeah.
it's pretty chill." And I was like, "Dang, that sounds like way better than what I'm doing. Like I'm hanging out with 6 dudes in an apartment right now. Like I got my truck outside. Like I got a job.
Yeah.
Like I'm working on a bank loan thing. Like what am I doing here? Like just keeps on. Like, but like the reality was I needed to be right there. Like I needed to stay there, but I didn't. Yeah, I went and I left, and I remember the guys coming out to the car, following me out to the car, but you didn't see that part.
No.
But they're coming out and they're trying to, "Hey, dude, where you going, man?" I'm like, "I'm not gonna stay here no more." "Well, why aren't you gonna stay anymore?" "Because I got something to do, man. I'm gonna go hang out over here. It's better." And "Well, that's a really dumb decision, like you just got out of a really bad spot. You got like 12 days sober right now. Like you should be proud of yourself." I'm like, "Well, I'm not. I'm not, and I don't feel good, and I don't want to be here."
Yeah.
And it's like,
dude, it was like not too long after that, like him and his buddy Keith, I think, or was it? You guys took off to Vegas and you left your fucking truck out there. Like you lost it.
lost it.
Lost the truck.
Wow.
Had to
Lost the
drive back with his dad to go find the truck.
Whoa.
Yeah, we
truck.
went to Vegas. Me and Keith, and we picked up some drugs. We picked up some meth on the way up there.
Yeah.
And we ate it. And I ate it. I ate a big old chunk of it, and he did too. And I don't remember too much after
Right.
that. Like honestly.
Yeah.
I remember
I got the calls.
all I remember
fight
all,
here.
all I remember
facing this.
is I remember spilling my Panda Express all over myself and on the floor. And then we got out of the truck that was parked, my truck,
Yeah.
and we walked. And I didn't know I don't know where we went. I don't know what we did, but we walked and I had no idea where the truck was. We ended up at the MGM Grand and we ended up walking around the parking lot, which, by the way, if you've never walked the entire parking lot at the MGM Grand, it's really big.
Yeah.
There's like secret levels and then we started tripping like, oh, well, and then we had the security guys driving us around. And then I started thinking, oh, the security guys are probably in cahoots because Jessica told me how grimy Las Vegas is.
Oh my God.
She told me all these stories ahead of time about Vegas, so I know how grimy it is there, right? So I'm like, these security guards are
He's
like,
paranoid, right?
they're involved with some underground car ring,
sure.
right? And now they know that the truck's missing, and like now they're just like playing games with us,
For sure.
driving us around, and oh, it was all bad. And so I ended up, me and my friend Keith, who's dead now from fentanyl, me and him, we ended up calling his mom. We ended up calling Keith's mom, and Keith's mom bought us tickets to come back to San Diego, to fly back to San Diego.
Really?
And we both just got shitty drunk and went to the airport. And he said I got us kicked out of the airport. I believe him. I don't remember it, but I believe him.
Yeah.
And then we got in a fight. We got in a fight in the street, and I said, well, I don't need you, and you don't need me. So why don't you just go your way, and I'll go my way.
Right.
And then I still had my ticket because his mom had booked the tickets, and my ticket was for the next day. And I remember that night because I was in a Motel 6 by myself, drinking brandy, trying not to. I mean, I was probably awake for almost 7 days, and I was just trying to like grip reality at that point. And there was this guy. I remember there was this show on TV. It was like Court TV or something. And it was this judge who was like convicting this guy of to a retarded amount of years in prison.
Okay.
And the guy was just yelling at the judge and like calling the judge a piece of shit and I'm like, dude, I feel like I'm that guy. Like I am like gonna be that guy that's yelling at the judge that the judge is wrong and I'm right. And like I had this like little epiphany, and then I ended up getting to the airport and flying home and like crashing out at my dad's house for like a week. And I couldn't barely walk. Like I was like beat up. Like I don't know what happened in Vegas, but like a lot happened. And like I was beat up, and my dad, I called the police. I was looking for the truck. I called the tow companies. Nobody had seen it. There was no police report. There was nothing. It was so like my dad's like, I bet it's out there still. And I'm like, well, what do you want to do? He's like, well, let's go to Vegas. Let's go to Vegas. So my dad flew us to Vegas on Christmas Day. On Christmas Day, and we started looking for Panda Expresses because that's all I could remember. So we went from one Panda Express to another Panda Express, and we got to one, and like I looked across the street, and there was like this convention parking lot. I was like, man, that looks a little familiar. He's like, well, let's go. We got a rental car. So we drove in, and then my truck was.
Wow.
So we had to notify the police and let them know that the truck's been found.
Yeah.
I followed him to the rental car place. We put it away, and then we drove back to San Diego. We stopped at the casino on the way, and I think I won like $400, which is good. Yeah, my dad's a trooper, man. He's been through a lot. Poor guy. He's actually watching my daughter right now, so I could come do this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dad.
So yeah, that's
Dozens of stories, dozens of millions, hundreds of stories like that. What he said. I mean, it just like takes me through fucking so many times in my life.
And I ended up getting some money from COVID.
Yeah.
And then I ended up buying this houseboat.
Oh.
That was my goal.
Yeah?
That was my idea.
Oh, okay.
My idea was, hey,
Houseboat
okay.
is the beginning of the end, right?
It was the beginning of the end. This is what's gonna save me. Now I have a good spot to live on with my son and my daughter. Everything's gonna be fine. Jessica's gonna be there. Everything's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
This is what's gonna happen. And so I got this boat, and then I couldn't find a place to park the boat. So I was like kind of driving it from one spot in the bay to another spot, and this thing was big.
It's a houseboat.
It was
It's like
big.
Oh, okay.
It's a boat you can't just park anywhere.
No, it was like a 5-bedroom boat. It was like a big ass boat. It was like you should be a captain to drive this boat. Like, and I am not. Like Like I am not. And so I ended up just throwing the anchors off of it in the bay. And then since I had a diving company, I had guys that would come like bring me food and stuff out there, like in the little boats, and
Yeah.
say what's up to their boss, who was obviously fucked up and super sick and retarded.
Yeah.
But they would do it. And then I ended up pulling the boat out of the water, like to get some work done on it. I'm still hoping to buy some time. And then I think that's about the time Jessica just disappeared one day. I didn't know where she went. I didn't know what happened to her. Last thing she sent me was like a sweaty emoji. I remember that. It was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I'll tell you guys the back.
And I was mad. Like I was always mad. Like when I'm on drugs and drinking, like I'm not like a friendly guy. Like maybe sometimes, but not really. Like I get real, I don't know. I just get real strange. Like,
Dr. Jekyll, Mr.
Doesn't trust anybody or anything.
Yeah.
So everything's against him.
yeah, I just feel like everybody's against me. And I don't know why I feel like that, but that's just how it is for me.
Right.
And so I ended up on this houseboat, and she disappeared. I didn't know where she went. And I was calling her mom. Her mom's like, screw you. Like, just stay away from her. I called her dad. I'm not talking to you. Like nobody was telling me anything about anything.
Right.
And I had no idea what happened. So I just started moving on with my life. And I ended up, me and a buddy of mine, Vinny, who's still alive, by the way.
I saw a picture of him on Facebook the other day with his dad. I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, me and him drove that thing down to Ensenada. So that's how I ended up down in Mexico.
Really?
Like, yeah, that's how I ended up
Did
down
he
there.
know I was already in Mexico?
Oh.
I had no idea that she was already in Mexico because her mom had I think she voluntarily went to a lockdown treatment unknowing that it was lockdown.
Oh, you didn't know the laws.
Yeah. So the backside of that story, so he's having his thing with his boat and whatever. So me and him, we had stayed at an apartment together. Shoot, our shit got crazy. Bad shit happened. Cheating, all kinds of shit was going on. And moved out of there, got stuck living at my dad's house. Didn't want to be there. That was hard because like my aunt has some mental issues, schizophrenia stuff.
Yeah.
And my dad and her are very toxic with one another, and it's not a bright place to be. I'll just put it that way. But the drinking and being in there and then trying to find fucking Adam all the time and trying to put that relationship in some space that it would be healthy was not going to work, and trying to force everything and then trying to stay sober and then failing and trying to drink away my problems was just over and over. Anyways, so the moving out of his house and being in that situation, and then the him disappearing and stuff, like that was kind of part of this this last thing for me where I got myself caught up one day. So like I remember I was in the backyard going back and forth with this old friend of mine, she's dead now, and fighting over this situation that had gone on that had me all mad at Adam and upset and whatever. And I'm like, fuck, I'm just gonna go down to the Cabrillo, the hotel.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking Cabrillo, like
Yeah.
the hotel we would live in and out of is just like creeps everywhere. That whole fucking bullshit. Everybody's your friend and not.
Oh, yeah.
Time.
I loved that place, but
You got names for all the different tweakers up in there.
Hilarious.
That one was the devil. That one's the Riddler. But yeah, I'm gonna go down to the Cabrillo because like I'm alone in the backyard right now at my dad's house and I'm drinking and I hate everybody, but I'm just gonna go make some friends down there. I don't know what I was really thinking, but I went down there to go cry. And actually, I was so angry at him, I was also plotting on the backside in my head, like, how am I going to get Adam killed?
Right,
I was like, I got to find somebody that will murder this guy. He's destroyed my life. I'm going to destroy his. I was going to take it away.
savage.
Very, very savage and very, very drunk. And
Yeah.
and some fucking buddy walked up to me in the garage over there. I was all distraught. They were tweaking. Of course, you could come stay in my hotel room, I think I bounced to like 10 different 10 different rooms at the Cabrillo
Yeah.
in like 4 days, like sleeping in this one, that one, that one, that one, that one. And everybody's tweaking and I'm just really drunk, the whole time. So I keep waking up at weird points and like I'm looking and there's like people sitting in corners being fucking creepy and weird. Like it's just crazy, dude. Those places are really fucking crazy. And I'm part of it,
Yeah.
and I don't even know I'm part of it. I'm having tweakers walk with me for a mile down the road that way.
I was convinced that she did meth because she's always hanging out with tweakers.
Yeah, it was just, I guess it was just my jam. No,
Right,
fuck
right,
it. When
right.
you're being weird, you're going to be with weird people. That's
Right.
just what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're, these people, I'm trying to get whoever I can to walk with me fucking a mile down that way to the liquor store so we can ask whoever for money to get this. Because, it's like at some point in it all, you're so sick and you're trying to just get what you can get to stay high, drunk, whatever, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you don't know where your shit is anymore. The tweaker's already taken your phone and that's over there and your money, I don't know, maybe you had money, you don't anymore. Like, it's just shit like that, and yeah, at some point in that hotel room, I started getting that overwhelming feeling. Like, I think it was day 5. Like, I get that feeling of like, fuck, I'm drinking myself to death. This is not good. I'm not feeling the effects of the alcohol anymore. It's not like taking anything away anymore. And now I'm scared. Like, I'm getting so physically ill, you're going through, it was like the stretch end of like, okay, withdrawals are going to be bad. This could be like alcohol poisoning. You start really like fucking with yourself and it might be true. You might die.
Yeah.
And you reach for the bottle and it just wasn't working. It just wasn't working. And I look over at the fucking guy and like, I didn't want to be there, like I was just there and I didn't know what to do. And I guess it's like God, these little things happen. And like the DUI program called, the counselor from the DUI program called my phone. I had my phone again, called and was like, you've been missing coming here. Like what's going on? And I just like poured my whole heart and soul out onto her. And I'm just like, I'm dying in a hotel room right now. It's so bad. I hate my life and my boyfriend this and this and this and that I need help. And she called an ambulance and the ambulance came and got me out of there and took me to the hospital. And my mom gets a hold of me at the hospital. And she's at that point, yeah, she's in that mode of like, I gotta get my daughter help. Like I gotta get her help. And she comes and picks me up from the hospital. And that was the night, that was the, that's when everything changed because she was like, they fucking hated Adam. They were just needed me to get help. They needed everybody to stay the fuck away from me and needed me to get help. And my mom had heard about this program in Mexico.
I see.
Called Nuevo Ser.
Uh-huh.
And she knew it was a lockdown. I didn't. I didn't.
She got you.
And she was like, I'm going to pack a bag for you just in case you decide to stay at this place.
Sure.
When you're sick with withdrawal, nothing really matters.
Right.
Like, you'll kind of go wherever.
Your
as long
mom's
as you're
smart too.
comfortable.
I'm sure she was super convincing. Like, just in case you want to stay.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was.
She knew you were staying.
Definitely wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to like know that was lockdown or anything like that.
Sure.
So I was like, all right, well, we'll go. But then I want to come back and make sure I pack my shit and stuff. And like,
Of course.
in my head, of course, make sure I found him or
course.
talked to him or
Yeah,
some
yeah.
fucking bullshit, And yeah, no, we went down there and the owner did like this quick intervention on me, like trying to say, look, just stay today. You really need this. And I accepted the treatment. So I didn't get drugged back there like a lot of other people might
right.
and not, and
Kicking and screaming.
yeah, I didn't get it like that. I just kind of accepted being there and went through my process there while Adam's like, in the meantime, somewhere in that few months, like driving his boat all the way to Mexico and
Yeah.
not knowing where I am.
Sure.
And it was really good. It was really good for both of us because
Right.
it's kind of good not knowing where your fucking people are, he was my drug. It was good being
Right.
forced to be away from that because it's not just the drugs and the alcohol. It was really good to be forced to be away from all the other void fucking fillers that I had.
Yeah.
That was really important. And this place was not like American treatment. It was not where I was going to go find a fucking boyfriend in rehab.
Right.
It was not where I could just do my makeup in the morning, fucking smoke as many cigarettes as I want.
Right.
It wasn't that way.
No.
It taught me something and it gave me this forced reality to look at myself and figure out what I was doing with a higher power here. Because when your higher power is all you have to talk to anymore, because there's no books or cards or bullshit to distract you in a program like that, like
Yeah.
you got to have something, and so I spent a lot of time with that and praying at night and like being forced to I couldn't fucking make calls. I couldn't do shit. And I liked it. I didn't like it at the time, but I liked it after. And yeah, after I got out, what did I do? Went back to the boyfriend.
Of course.
So, right? Like, probably not the brightest idea, but it is part of our story, and it's so important because without that, we never would have Baja Rehab right now.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So that's like a huge part of both of our stories.
Yeah,
So
by the time she got out of there, like somewhere in the middle of there, I had gotten into, I think it was like McAllister or someplace had gotten, I did a thing and they put me into a sober living.
Oh, okay.
And I lived in a sober living with this guy named Vinny, who was already in there ahead of time, a friend of mine.
All right.
And then a guy named Ralph and a guy named
Miguel.
Miguel.
Yeah.
And me, Ralph, Vinny, and Miguel moved out of there and rented a house in San Carlos, which actually I still live in today. I still live in there. Now, those guys all got fucked up and moved on their way. And somehow I ended up keeping the house.
Nice.
But that's what happened with that. So, and my goal, unbeknownst to her, at that point when she got out, was to stay sober and sell heroin.
Oh, see.
That was what I was gonna do.
Yeah. And I was just like, he wants to stay sober. I want to stay sober. Maybe this will be a good thing for us.
Yeah, you see.
So that's kind of how we reunited.
Sober together.
It wasn't really like a reunite back into toxicity. It was like, okay, we both done some work. You know, let's try to do this. But yeah, he was like,
And that heroin deal, I mean, she was really against it.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you can't do this. What are you thinking? This. She started really getting on my neck about it. Kind of like,
Bad idea?
yeah.
you get sober, but then you do stupid shit.
Well, it's like I
you're
had
still
a-
living like you're a fucking, you know.
I thought I had a good plan, but it was she did it, and she was right.
Yeah.
And anyway, right around there, my good buddy Keith died,
I see.
and that was pretty much the end of that whole thing. It was ended up giving a bunch of that stuff away, and just starting to really think about being sober. And then we'd go down to Mexico, and we started talking about, you know, what can we do to stay sober? What can we do?
Right.
And right around that time, like I had gotten some money from COVID,
I see.
from COVID stuff that had come through. So I had enough, and then she was like, "I'll partner with you, and maybe we can help people." So we decided let's try to open up a rehab, and she told me all about her rehab that she was in, and then we started going to Grupo Gringo down there, this little AA meeting in
English.
Rosarito, a little English speaking. It probably had 4 or 6 people in it.
Okay.
You know, each night. But we found it, you know, just by, you know, mistake, you know, just Googling it. Yeah.
And I moved to Mexico. I got a place down there. So we go back and forth from his place to mine. And I don't know, I guess we were kind of trying to like somehow establish ourselves in Mexico because your boat was down there. I got a house down there. And then we had this idea.
It just happened.
Like this idea for like, I don't know if it was a sober living idea at first or it had turned into a rehab idea, but
It was like we were going to do a rehab, but it wasn't going to be lockdown. And then it was like, no, it's going to be lockdown. And then it was just a bunch of stuff. And obviously we had no people coming to the rehab. I mean, it was just a big ass property,
Right.
you know, that we were working on, and we would do construction there and paint. And I mean, we were there all the time.
we were trying so fucking hard to stay sober.
Right.
24
and
hours.
we got this fucking property and I'm still like in this Airbnb mindset. So we turned it into a fucking Airbnb. And then on opposing days, we're working with like our other partner and Juan, our clinical director, on how we're going to design this fucking thing. And then on the weekends, there's people partying up in there 'cause we're making the money from the Airbnb.
We're cleaning up all kinds of stuff, bro. We were cleaning up Coke bags and weed and
Condoms
little dildos and there were actually little
rings and-
funny. There was a little dildo story. There was like this little ring dildo, and there's this lady Lupe. This lady Lupe had her daughter Fatima there,
The maid.
who we ended up taking care of
Yeah.
when she went to rehab.
Yeah.
But she had this dildo ring on her finger. She didn't know what it was. We're like, oh, get that off your finger. That's super.
Man, and the
super
whole
dirty.
time through this situation, through this scenario, this year of this, having this property, trying to like pay its rent and figure out this plan, we're still trying to stay sober. And we're having the like relapse every 4 months kind of thing going
We
on.
started getting every 4 months for like a week. It'd go,
Dude.
we'd get 4 months. Usually I was the one that would fall off first.
Okay.
Right? Because she has more pride than me.
Yeah.
But I know she wanted to. She just lied about it the whole time.
Oh, okay.
But I just did it first at
Okay.
the time.
And then if he's going to do it, I'm going to do it because I'm
Right,
sad
yeah,
because now
yeah,
he's
you're
gone.
doing it.
Where the fuck is
No,
he?
no, there wasn't ever a time when I relapsed. I came done. I was done. She was sober. None of that happened. But she would always relapse too.
Yeah.
But they were about every 4 months for a while. And I remember I think uh, the last time was, I think I was driving up the driveway, and I had a whole bunch of stuff in my truck that I was supposed to bring over there, and I ended up calling our partner Ricardo,
Yeah.
this gentleman, and telling him, look, I can't do this, dude. This is a pipe dream.
Yeah.
This isn't gonna happen.
Yeah.
I am not sober.
Yeah.
I've been drinking.
Yeah.
I've been doing drugs.
Yeah.
I was like, I just can't do this. And he's like, you need to fucking pull your head out of your ass and get sober, like now. I get sober, like you need to fucking get sober.
Yeah.
You're the face of this place. You can't go out like that. I'm already involved with this, and I think in a weird kind of way, like at that point, like I was still a little bit scared of Mexico, right? Like I don't know who he is really, right? And like people get fucked up over there, and I was like, yeah, I did start. So, I had I should have more of a fear factor for a lot of things that I somehow just would push to the side. But like with that and being down there was a little bit more of a fear factor. Like, hey, you're not in your country. Like you can't be doing whatever you want here. Like you can think you could do over there. Like it's different. Like kind of act like that. And I think I really wanted to be sober. And I think that was the last time I got loaded. I think that was it. After
Yeah.
that, I stayed sober after
He
that.
stayed
Thank God.
sober
Yeah.
before the rehab opened.
Yeah.
Like, luckily, I didn't. I had another one in me, but
Yeah.
another like great attempt when we were about to open, like right before when we were still like having like a relapse situation. Like we did ibogaine too, trying to like
Oh, okay.
get sober.
We're gonna talk about that. Yeah.
That was a pretty gnarly experience. That was like
So the
it
hoops
was like
it?
yeah,
Yeah.
and it was like our one last ditch effort like before we opened. Like fuck, we relapsed again. What are we gonna do? We're gonna open soon. Like we can't fucking stay sober. We're gonna be fucked. Like
Yeah.
all the shit, and we're like fuck it. Call up the fucking wacky friend in Mexico.
Yeah.
Get the fucking medicine lady over or whoever.
Yeah, yeah.
And let's just
Sounds-
set this shit up. Drop $5,000 or whatever on this thing, right? That we're terrified of and.
Because it was there was this one white guy in the neighborhood. I don't know. Are we talking too much or no? Are we good?
Oh, you're good.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know how long we had.
Yeah. So there's this one white guy named Colton.
Yeah.
And he was in the neighborhood, and he would walk down. We'd be working at the rehab,
Yeah.
painting, just working, just doing stuff. She had a to-do list that was like from here to Vegas. I mean, it was so long, and I was trying to stay in line, to get stuff done. And he would just walk by with like his dogs and stuff, and he came down from Hawaii, and he ended up in Mexico to do ibogaine,
I see.
and ended up learning about some other plant medicine,
Sure.
and that got him sober. And so he had talked to me and talked to her about it, but I was so close-minded because of my experience in AA and my sobriety, and
Sure, you're
I want to be sober. I want to be sober. That's not sober. This and that and the other. And I didn't really want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
But after that I was trying to stay sober.
Right.
I just wasn't able to stay sober.
Right.
And so I think after that, and like after the last relapse and all, like I was willing to do more. I was willing to do some more. So we tried ibogaine, and that was a big ordeal too. I ended up getting a fist fight with that guy. He beat the shit out of me up in the hills of Popotla.
Well, there's always a fucking crazy story attached to that shit.
Yeah.
right? But ibogaine.
But we made up. We made up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're cool. But ibogaine in general, that's a rough one. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's like an 8-hour experience that
God.
it's a stimulant, so you're not really gonna go to sleep, and you're totally
Right.
psychedelic.
Right.
But it's got to be one of the strongest ones in the world. I mean, that was a really gnarly experience. It might have been a lot different for him than it was for me, but like it really does take you through all of the fears that you have
I see.
and the insecurities that you've had in your life, and it kind of plays it back times 10. And then everything's cartoon-like and fucked up like too, and it's all attacking you. You're just like, I'm gonna fucking die right now. I'm gonna fucking die.
Yeah.
And really, I guess it is, 10 years of therapy in a box.
Yeah.
Really, it is. You're forced to it's like,
Right.
you're forced to face shit that you probably hadn't dug up that's in your subconscious from forever ago. Anyways, thought it was going to be my saving grace. I did stay sober for 4 months.
Okay.
After that, it took cravings away. It does do some of the things that they say it does. It really can put the brain back into this pre-addictive state. Like there's stuff in it that can do that, right? I'm not a chemist, but like it does. I didn't feel cravings for cigarettes anymore. I was a smoker. So I didn't smoke for months. But it starts to come back after some time. So that's the one thing with ibogaine when people want to go do it.
Yeah.
Get a fucking program. It's a great halt. It's a great way to take away post-acute withdrawal. It's even something that can be used to take a withdrawal away, maybe for an opiate user. But if you don't have a fucking program after that, plan on getting high again.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what it is,
That's
you know?
Yeah, and I used and I did that, and then I ended up doing. I don't know if you've heard of 5-MeO DMT. Probably sure you have.
I have.
They call it Sapo down there, but
Toad.
the Toad, yeah. So I ended up doing the Toad. I got on a schedule with this really nice lady named Sandra, and I told her all about my story, my history, and I said, "What do you recommend?" She's like, "I recommend about 6 months worth of doing this," and so I did it for once a month
Yeah.
for the first 3 months.
Yeah.
And then I was feeling good. I was going to AA, doing my steps, and kind of feeling better, just working.
Right.
Starting to talk to my family, and stuff was starting to get better. And then do it every other month. So I started doing it every other month for a few months, and that was super helpful, man. It was super helpful for me. I think like for finding God and kind of getting a good understanding of like who I am, right? And going through that. I mean, it was really helpful for me going through that process. And I've recommended a lot of people to go do that and to meet her and go through that with her. Yeah. And I've given it to quite a few people myself, sometimes in my living room. I've just try to be helpful to people.
Right.
And like, I think that it's crazy now. I feel like nobody knows really what to do with alcoholics, right? Or drug addicts, right? Like the court system, what do? They give you a court card and send you to AA or NA, right? And then you got the, Department of Defense, all their money. What they do is they put you in their rehab. Their rehab sends you to NA or AA, right? And you got what else is there? You get a DUI, they send you to NA or AA, or there's just so many. Nobody really knows what to do, right? It's like the best. That's like the best. But now there's like some evidence of some other stuff being helpful too.
Absolutely.
And like I'm all for it, man. Like anything that's gonna be helpful to people.
Right.
I just got involved with this. I got a God shot. Just kind of all these just fucked up shit just lined up in this perfect little thing, and we've been able to help a lot of people.
Yeah.
And been stay sober and help ourselves.
Yeah, after ibogaine, I didn't do the Toad first. It's a series, like they take you through a series of stuff.
Yeah.
Ibogaine is the tree of knowledge. It teaches you your fears and things like takes you through your past. The Toad is the God molecule. It shows you a spiritual experience. So maybe for people who are like don't have a higher power, don't really believe, it kind of lets you know that you're not. It takes your ego away, and then it lets you know there's something else. So gets you thinking, right? And I didn't do the Toad because I ended up doing an in DMT in a it was through Changa. I'm not talking about like, I did it on the street and shit.
Sure.
Like they took the
Like a ceremony.
Yeah.
they took
I'm
me through
familiar
this
with this.
experience with that fucking shit killed me. Okay, like I was gone. Okay, I mean like I was not Jessica at all. I thought I was dead.
Right.
Thought I was dead, and I'm like, I'm not coming back. What the fuck did I do? How do I reverse this?
You're
In my head, I'm like,
And she's telling me, she's like, you got to die. You got to do it too. You got to die.
I had to do that. You have to die too. So, yeah, well, it felt like forever, and then 15 minutes later, I'm back. But I see the ego deflation. I understood the purpose of it. After that, I'm sorry, dude, I was fucking done. I'm like, I'm never fucking with psychedelics again. I saw what I needed to see. It showed me what I needed to see.
Okay.
All right, yeah. So like, hey, here we come, But like, I mean, then the rehab was getting ready to open.
Yeah.
And things changed. Me and his dynamic changed. I think also when two people meet and they're fucked up, there's that ride.
Sure.
And then they get sober and you start realizing that you have differences in sobriety too. Like you're not really, there was a lot of that going on.
I see.
And so we broke up and then I relapsed. I relapsed over that. After we opened, I relapsed. I mean, I can't blame it on anybody really but myself, but that's what I was.
Blame it on me if you need to.
I'm just gonna fucking blame this shit on you, okay?
That's nice of you, sir.
No, I was really going through it.
sir.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was really going through it, and that was like the last straw that kind of broke the back. I was like, how the fuck are we gonna break up? And now I'm stuck in this business with this guy. We're
Sure,
partners.
that could be painful.
How the fuck, you know what I mean? So yeah, then I went down this road of like getting on Klonopins, Xanax, benzos, you know, thinking like a doctor's gonna prescribe me this for my anxiety because like here I'm going through like all emotionally distraught, like, and then I'm all hooked on that shit, and then it was just like it was just a waiting game until my next drink, and then that was like, bam. So I actually stepped out of the business for like 9 months.
Oh, okay.
After we opened,
Yeah.
I don't know how long we were open.
Yeah, when did it open, Baja Rehab?
About 4 years ago.
2020.
4 years ago?
2022? 2022. I think January 2022.
Oh, okay.
So it was actually, I think I went back to rehab when I took like 9 months off, like when it was about to be 2023 or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I stayed out for a while, and actually during that time, the Baja Rehab started to flourish. Like it was
Right.
actually getting customers, getting clients and stuff like that. So I was kind of missing out for all that stuff, but I was hearing about it on the backside, and I still had access to our bank account, right? And I was seeing it, and I was like, okay, you know. But I was, thank God I stayed away.
Yeah.
I was in no business to help other people when I needed a lot of help.
Right, right. You need to
And
take care of yourself.
yeah, I needed to get through, first of all, a tragic situation. I needed to give myself some self-care in that. But also I needed to get back to the roots of why the fuck I was trying to be sober. Because I think for a long time, I was kind of like doing it for him, or like a relationship, you know, so that I could keep that thing together that made me feel good.
Yeah.
And so to do that alone finally, like really like not go back into a relationship for like 6+ months after I was really getting out there and figuring out what Jessica wanted again. I went back to school. I got a little job doing art. I started running some sober livings through one of the recovery centers down in La Jolla.
Yeah.
While I was in sober living, the sober living would let me take like weeks off while I'd go to this other recovery center and run their sober living for a few weeks.
Wow.
I was just getting involved. I was going to a lot of fucking meetings. I was working a lot with my sponsor, Karina.
I see.
I was getting back to the basics.
Karina's a godsend.
She's amazing.
Because she was like my sponsor and your sponsor at the same time.
She's been
But
so
she wouldn't
part
tell
of
me
my
shit about you.
Yeah, and she wouldn't tell me shit about him.
Yeah,
she
she's
was like
cool.
playing a great mediator.
Savage.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, that's like, I think what happened different for me this time is trying to get into recovery, taking it seriously without a man, being present for that, and finding out what Jess wanted. Who was Jess?
Okay.
Like, who was Jess? You know, and I found out through through those months. Yeah, I went to Turning Point Home and got out of Turning Point Home, went to some shitty fucking sober living down on Island Avenue.
Yeah.
Shared like a bedroom the size of a fucking closet. I mean, it had to be the size of the bathroom. With my best friend Carmen, we were bunk bed roommates. You
Oh,
know,
wow.
like
That's where you guys met?
yeah,
I
we
didn't know that.
we met in Turning Point Home, and then we ended up roommates over there. And she stayed following me wherever. We were a team. Yeah, I didn't want a guy anymore. I wanted a girl. I wanted some. I knew I was kind of a lonely person, but I realized in that process, like, this is how you have your girls, like, in your recovery process, and we help. We held each other accountable. You know, that's what they say. That's what we did for real. She moved with me into another house after we got done at the sober living. It was a friend of mine, and so I ran through that process. Went back to school to become a drug and alcohol counselor.
I see.
And we ran that process out until Baja Rehab, until it was time to go back to Baja Rehab.
Yeah.
And I wanted to, I say Baja Rehab has a lot to do with saving my life. What I mean is it was part of my mindset. Like, I lost something so important to me.
Sure.
I wanted that back. And I don't care. You can say, I think people can say honestly that like their kid played a part in them getting sober, right? There's things that play a part in reasons why you do things. And I think that having a fulfilling role in life is a big part of why we stay sober.
Yeah,
you know what I
absolutely.
mean? So I knew that I was going to chase and do everything I had to do to get my shit right.
Yeah.
So that I could be healthy for this business that I had spent these,
Yeah,
you know,
you've been
year and a half, 2 years trying to build.
Yeah.
And And we did that. And I did that. And I went back trying to stay humble, trying to stay in my steps, trying to stay in my gratitude, trying not to carry my resentment in there with my ex, with my partner, my other partner, you know, like with people, you know, and that's where you start seeing the promises come true. When you keep your behavior in check and you do the steps and you redo your inventory, your things every fucking day, every moment that you face, and you start seeing a different result in the outcome because of your behavior changes. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what that part of it is cool, because that's what really started to convince me that the 12 steps work, that AA works, that it has this ability to change us, not just the stopping, the using, and the drinking, but the making us a better person.
Yeah.
And then when people start respecting you differently and they start believing in you differently and trusting you differently, and you realize, wait, I can be a leader because I'm proving this, you know, like there's a good, strong motivation and independence that comes with that. Just being trusted again, right? Like more than the money and the other material things that I think come with sobriety, but it's the people having a trust in you again is so fucking valuable. It's so valuable. I think I remember you talking about that when you were at Baja Rehab.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's the fucking truth right there. Yeah. So yeah, in about a month I'll have 3 years sober.
That's awesome.
Adam, I think, has just over.
Yeah. How much? How type are you, Adam?
Just a little over 4.
Fuck
I
yeah.
just took my 4 year on the 4th of this month.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And here we are, you know, it still feels like, I feel like any milestone, I'm like, it's not enough. It's not enough. You know, I'm a rehab owner. I should have like 20 years. It just doesn't matter. That's
No, it
not
does
part of
not.
my story. And I'm really grateful for my story. And I'm really proud of what we've done and what we are now. And
Amazing.
you know, the work that I do with some of our clients and our staff, and also like the effort that I put into my sobriety outside of Baja Rehab and my career. And it means everything to me. So I'm really, when it comes down to it, I'm very proud of it. I'm very, very proud of it. And you
As you should be. You should be proud.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Amazing. All right. Well, man, that's so awesome. I actually did not know the backstory of Baja Rehab, and I'm really
is.
fucking happy that you guys came on here.
Oh, we left a lot out.
I
though.
really appreciate it. It's
Get on
actually
board
so
stories,
right.
but-
It's so, and like I said, I love your guys' place, man. It's awesome. I mean, I want to go down there more often just to hang out at Baja Rehab. But it's awesome what you guys do, and I really greatly respect it, man.
Yeah.
And like I said, like, you know, I was just telling someone earlier, you know, hey, you know, it's a little extreme to be in a lockdown treatment facility, but sometimes that's what people need, man.
It is. And you know what, looking back, because I mean, I did tell a lot of stories of like, you know, 4 months and then 4 months and then 2 months and then 6 months. And then it would have been really nice. Like I would have been super pissed, but that was almost a 3-year relapse I was on. From having 8 years sober to getting sober again was about a 3-year period. And like, it would have been really nice if someone had just plucked me out of that and plopped me into treatment where I couldn't leave.
Right.
Because I had so many justifications. Like I don't know if it would have helped, but I think it would have. I think it would have given me enough time to get my mind back from being on those drugs, because they're just too strong.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'll tell you this much.
I really appreciate you having us here.
Yeah.
Really.
I'm really grateful that you had us on this. I do want to say, like, people that come into our facility, a lot of them are not at will, right? You know,
Right.
they're tricked or whatever,
Right.
put up at fucking Baja Rehab, and they're in a detox process, and they're like, what the fuck am I doing here? Wait, how long am I gonna be here? Wait, I can't leave when I want. I can't go get high right now. I can't go fucking fix this shit right now. You know, there's that mental struggle that goes on. And then there's the detox process that goes on, and it's a medical detox, and we're helping them and all this. I haven't seen anybody yet that doesn't get out of a detox process and they're not in some way, shape, or form fucking grateful that they're sober.
Right.
Yeah, as much as they have the fight and the resistance. And you know what's badass is they're going to be pissed. They're going to be pissed in the first few months, especially not knowing exactly when they're going to get out.
Yeah.
But I tell you right now, by month 5, 6, there's a lot of people with a different fucking outlook, and you see the change dramatically, you know, to the realizations they're having just through having a sober process. And that's a miracle. That's really cool. I'm sorry, but like you can't do that shit in the States with people.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, and we're not, I mean, we're also not accepting people. that-
Nah.
Like if a wife calls, it's like, hey, my husband's been drinking every weekend, you know. It's like, hey, well,
Yeah, we got to check our.
you might want to call, you might want to go to AA,
Right.
you know, tell them, or maybe go see a specialist or
Right,
something.
right.
I don't feel like we're the right fit for
Yeah.
you.
We got to check our families and the situations that come through. But
But when it's my son's overdosed twice in the last week in my house, and I can't kick him out because the police won't get him, and I don't know what to do anymore, and his daughters ran into him twice on the floor.
Yeah.
Like, okay, all right.
yeah, when there's
We're it.
26,
We're it.
Yes.
We're it.
when there's
Bring 'em
26
on down.
treatment centers behind this person, they're gonna fucking die.
Yeah.
This person's psychotic. They're you know, fuck their mom's ribs or
Right.
you know what I mean. Stuff. This is shit. We deal with the craziest shit, and
Extreme.
it's extreme. And like some of the interventions we've seen is way crazier than some shit. Because again, we got interventions going and taking place with families that they're trying to get a client down to a lockdown center, not an at-will center. You know, that there's a lot of stuff we see. We see some of the craziest of the crazies. Definitely makes us grateful every day to be sober. I will tell you that.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on again. I really love you
For
guys.
having us.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. All right.
That's a wrap.
That's it.
Is that a wrap?
All right.
It's a wrap.
Fuck fentanyl. Have a good one.
Yeah, fuck paying all.
That's it.